The number of coffee bean choices has never been more insane. Like, it's insane. Like, there's so many roasters and brands who are trying to get your attention. There are so many countries and regions that are growing beans and also try to get your attention. And then you have these variables you never knew you had to bother about, but now you do. Light roast, dark roast. I get it. It's insane. Today, I'm going to walk through at least how I go around picking coffee beans. I've got some new beans. I'm going to make a latte out of it. And I'm going to ask Varun to help out with telling me how it goes. So there are three things that I really look for in a coffee when I'm shopping for one. And I'm going to use this Sightglass coffee as an example to kind of walk through how I'll be scanning this thing to determine what matters. So the first is the region. So you can see this one is in Ethiopia from the Shakisso, am I pronouncing it correctly, region. That's awesome. Like, I think the point is there's a whole lot of diversity of sources of coffee across the world, different countries, different state, and they all have a fairly different flavor profile. So it's less about I only want Ethiopian coffee, and it's more about trying out new regions and new places that I wouldn't have otherwise. And I think that's a whole lot of fun. The second is if this is a single origin or a blend. Single origin is obviously, as it says, from one single place. So it's got coffee from one single region. As opposed to a blend, which is more of a creation of the roaster or the brand, where they kind of mix and match different beans from different sources and, you know, probably round out the edges or create a certain concoction that they want you to taste. I personally prefer single origins, and I get that I'm trading off something for it, but it's clearer. I can feel the notes and I can see what that region brings to the table, as opposed to this chemical concoction that, you know, see, it's great, but I'm not able to make much out of. And the last thing that matters, at least to me, is the roast date. This thing has to be fresh. If it's not fresh, then it's not fun. And I've got another video about it. I'll link it somewhere there. Do get the freshest as you can. Around 20 to 30 days after roasting, your coffee is not the way you want it. A lot of the aromatics have been lost. So try to get a fresh one. This doesn't negate all the other variables out there. Altitude, you know, coffee grown at a higher altitude grows slower, so it has more flavor. All of that. Like, there are so many more things that matter. Which is why I have a coffee subscription. I want to keep trying out different things. And I use Driftaway, just another one of them. But they're fun. They focus a lot on the farmer's stories and how that bean is processed, what's different about the farm, and how it reaches you. And I think they do a really good job of trying out different places in different regions to give you to focus on the serendipity of coffee. That's what matters. All right, let's open this packet up and make some lattes. So this coffee is from Guatemala, Los Angeles. There's a Los Angeles in Guatemala? Hey, I don't know, like, there's all this new stuff you learn every day. And I believe it's like pure mountain spring water is used for the washed process. Fancy, fancy. Instead of me having a sip, I'm going to ask Varun. Varun, can you have a sip?
Damn, that's good.
I didn't think about this. How do I get the coffee back? Anyways, I'll see you all in the next video.